Hey guys, how is it going today? So I finally caught the top of Neo, which I shorted it around 39.50. I shorted 1,000 coins, which is making me incredibly uncomfortable. So I apologize if this video is just right to the point. What I want to show you guys is, first of all, Omizigo. The reason why I show people this at the beginning of my videos is because we want to find similarities in other charts, right? And right here, for example, we have a nice falling wedge that breaks out. Falling wedges always break out. I have way too many coins in Omizigo that I bought around 740, and right now it's at 740 and still sitting there. I bought maybe 5,000, I think. It's not too much for that. And but Litecoin, I bought a lot of Litecoin. Way too much. I shouldn't have bought that many. I bought about 150 to 200. So this one is a symmetric triangle. So the symmetric triangle finally broke out. And I want to show you IOTA, which I carry a few 10,000s of these ones right now. 30,000 to be exact, which is a little bit too much. $24,000 position. I bought in around, I think 7.8 or so. Yeah, 7.8. So this one here, if you guys notice, it's a falling wedge as well that finally broke out. What I'm trying to show you guys is that whenever there are patterns like this, I do believe that 2018 is going to be one of the best years for cryptocurrency, and that's why I've been spending a lot of time just researching in general and just charting all day and all night. I think it's going to be the year where, who knows, maybe I can stop working, you know? It's going to be one of those years, I think, where if I make enough money, then I can easily just take a long break, put it that way. So the way I'm charting it is, this is your A, B, C correction all the way down to here. And the way I'm looking at it is like this, is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This makes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in there. And then we have nice 5 waves coming down, then A, B, C. It failed to break out. And whenever it fails to break out, I call my Elliott wave X. It's going to start a double zigzag pattern. And here's A, here's basically B, and then it just keeps going down to C here, an ending diagonal pattern. Failed to break out of here again. This is basically the point where I stopped playing it and I was focusing on other coins, which I kind of regret. And a lot of people were telling me about Neo, but I just didn't have the time or the energy to dedicate to it. So it tried to break out here, and that's where we call our X point, where it fails. Then we have an A, B, C, small one there, and we have officially Z. And when Z ended here, that's when I knew that there was going to be some sort of massive breakout. And what we're concerned about with now is this structure in here, right? We don't care about the rest right now. So we have our big 1 right here, which took a while to build up. And then we have our 2 right there. And then we have our 3 in there. And I'm pretty sure that this is the top right now. It's about to hit $40. But I just can't see it getting any higher than this because the RSI is diverging. And so, I mean, if I look at this RSI, right, it's not really getting a higher high as well. If I look on other time frames, like the 5-minute chart as well, it's getting lower highs. It's actually diverging pretty nicely there. Just in general, it looks kind of like that. Ticking up a little bit, but not too much at all. This is why I do firmly believe that it's time for a correction, which I'm going to pause the video and add more to my short actually. Alrighty, so we're just going to assume that this is the top for now, and I got a lot of reasons to believe that. For example, the RSI is just, yeah, it's hovering there, but it's not getting any higher highs, and it's also starting to level off on the MACD right here, right? It's starting to really level off, and I think it is in extremely oversold zones right now, to the point where something is going to happen soon. I mean, the 1 hour one is the one that's a dead giveaway to me. This is why it's pretty much the top right there. That's definitely piquing my interest there. So I'm calling this one 1, and this is 2 all the way down there. It took a pretty long correction, and then this one here I will call 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'll call this one 5 right there. I'm just trying to draw under it because it's too cluttered, right, with the amount of strength that it has, and I just don't want to clog up the screen here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 perfect ones there, right? And this one right over here, we don't see a lot of the detail in it, but I'm going to go to, for example, a 3-minute chart. I'm counting basically 5 with just an extended one right here already. It's making a nice channel. So it's on a pretty good uptrend, or it was on a good uptrend, but it's very hard, guys. The thing about RSI is when it gets to a really critical point, it's just going to snap back down, right? And what we notice about basically every single EMA of the 55 is whenever it goes up too high, it tends to snap back close to it. When it goes too high, it snaps back close to it, right? When it gets too high right there, it's eventually going to snap back much closer to it as well. So I do believe that we are at the absolute peak right now already, and I just can't see it getting any higher than this, guys. I mean, the volume is getting pretty heavy. See, people are selling right now already. See what I mean? People are selling. We're starting to downtick. I can't even get closer for you guys to see this part there. But this was, yeah, let's see if we can see it up here for you guys. See what I mean? If I count my waves like this, right? Just basically 1, 2, 3, and then 4, and then 5. That's the 5 waves right there. So it's hard for me to really see it getting much higher than this as well. Another way to look at this is like this, all right? So let's say I counted that as my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we'll just assume that we can draw it like that for now. Then I can actually draw this like this, 1, 2, 3, ABC, 4, and 5. And this also makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? Makes lots of sense. So let's say we ignored everything down over here. So this is basically a massive wave right now. And we can automatically assume that because this one right here retraced only not even 382, we'll assume that the next one will retrace a lot more. So this one here is 618 right there, right? So this one is going to retrace the full amount from the entire wave when it's done correcting, guys. And I believe that it's going to be very bearish, or sorry, bullish. So I'm actually going to set my target box buy right around there. It's pretty reasonable to me. We're going to assume that it's going to be very, very bullish. These 3 peaks could make wave 1, wave 2, and then wave 3 right here, which you guys can see that it's having a lot of trouble, right? So that's how I usually gauge it as well. So just as an example, let me show you here. We can call this 1, this is 2 correction, 3, and this is 4, and this is 5. So, and we also start to see it peaking already, right? If you guys look really closely here, we're starting to see a lot of people selling. It's down ticking. On the candle right here, it's starting to show like it's a shooting star kind of candle. So I do believe it's the top, guys. So let's say that this one here was wave 1 right here, okay? And let's say, assume that it retraced in between. Well, just worst case scenario is 236 level because it's very bullish still. Or sorry, 236 level because it's very bullish. I mean, we can get a retracement to only right here even, maybe slightly less than here. So what I'm going to recommend, of course, is the worst case scenario, it retraces to 386, right? See, this is an ugly candle already. It's becoming a doji at the top. Look at what happened when there was a doji before, right? Like right there, for example. And then we got a shooting star, and then we got a big reversal candle right there. So NEO is definitely a profitable coin to be trading right now, I think. Super profitable coin. All right, then let's assume that this is the actual top, all right? So now we take our Fibonacci retracement, and this is only wave 1, guys. That's the thing of the beauty, right? It's only wave 1 right there. Now we're going to go to our 4-hour chart here, and we're going to take our Fibonacci retracement level from basically worst, we'll start right here. We won't be too optimistic. I apologize about today on Twitter, guys. It's very overwhelming sometimes. I didn't expect to get, honestly, 3,000 subscribers on YouTube and 2,000 on Twitter in literally a month's time of doing this. So it was like just mind-blowing, and I guess I'm still getting very used to the idea of you know, fame and fortune, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, and I guess a lot of people have been asking the same, it's not even people are asking the same questions in general, it's the same people are asking the same questions, right? Which can be a little bit overwhelming sometimes. And I have to admit, I don't really get out a lot at all. I spend probably way too much time trading, more than I should. And yeah, I think I need to get out a lot more as well, just to have a balance in life, right? It's really important. I do it because I love it. Don't get me wrong, like I love trading to death. It's one of my favorite things to do in life. I'm quite obsessed with it. Okay, so I'm seeing if we can count this as one as well. This is two, which actually might make sense as well. So let's say I counted this as one. I'm just trying to hypothesize with you guys as well. Let's say that is one, that's two right over here, and this is three, four, and five is somewhere up there. Now let's say I took my Fibonacci extension again. Yeah, this might make sense, calling this one right there. Just want to make sure it didn't retrace lower than it. Yeah, it fits my description. So let's say I took fib extension from where it began to right there to say here. And then we're going to target $45 after this correction. So let's say that was wave one right there, okay guys? We're going to also check to see what kind of target it actually hit. Higher, well higher. So two could actually be over here somewhere. Wow, it made a measured move actually. If I took two as that point, made an exact measured move at 1.618. Whenever stuff like that happens, that's where you can almost count on it being the top. I think it's going to have a long correction there. And the cool thing about this is if this was wave one, and this one retraced almost 100%, this one's really not going to be retracing a lot at all. I'm going to expect maybe a 328 retracement at most. Yeah, 328 retracement, we'll say. Just like that. We're not going to call that one. Start right there. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If we take our fib extension just to test it, made a one-to-one measured move there. From here to here to here. It beat a one-to-one measured move, but it also made a 1618 exact extension, right? So this is going to be my buy zone around $36 right here. This is it, guys. This is the top. We're getting triple peaks here. 1, 2, 3, and that's how we count our Elliott waves. So my buy zone will basically be anywhere between $36 and $33 right there. Yep, that seems absolutely right to me. And then the final one, we will end up targeting right in here. A one-to-one exact measured move. So if you guys have seen my other videos, you'll know exactly what I mean. These target extensions seem to hit them quite often. So now we are in 1, 2. This is called a truncated C, where it doesn't exactly reach the bottom of the previous one. So this is A, that's B, that's C. See, do you guys notice we're down ticking really hard right now? And I actually added more to my short in between this video that I'm making. I shorted at 39.5 at first, and then I added more at 41, and then I added even more at 41.25. So I'm now in a very freaking uncomfortable situation here. I have about 500 shares, which makes me a little bit uncomfortable because you have to build a lot of comfort, okay guys? Whenever you trade a new coin, you have to build a lot of comfort. You have to learn the rhythm of it, and you have to learn the patterns of it and its behavior, right? And what we can, what we can automatically assume from this specific video and from this coin that has this much volatility today is, well, we can assume it has a lot of volatility, right? Not only does it have a lot of volatility, but the spread is massive. And when I mean spread, I'm talking about the difference between the ask and the bid. And it is ridiculous, guys. Like, we're talking about 30, 40 cent spreads, you know? And we're talking about people buying up, you know, if the spread's like, say 50 cents, right? Sometimes the spread goes up to even $1.50 because people are just buying in the thousands at a time because I have to do my research. I don't really know what's going on. I have no idea what's going on fundamentally, But what I do know with certainty is that something huge is going on, and it reflects in the charts right here. And as a technical analyst, we can conclude that based on the charts and how much volume has spiked, there has been some major fundamental change, right? So as a technical analyst, you don't really have to go around digging for a lot of information. You can just assume from the charts that something really, really big is going on, and the chart reflects all the data right there. And as much as I would like to spend more time doing fundamental research, it just doesn't float my boat. I'm not a big fan of reading up on the news, etc. I like to see what the price action says in the charts, and we go from there. So guys, this is where we stand right now. We are standing to a good buy zone, right? Because it's very bullish. I think that we're only going to correct to about $36.53 there. But if it does, it retrace more, then you guys also have to keep in mind that it could retrace to $33.35 as well. It's just a matter of waiting and seeing. This candle right here is very implicative. It's called a shooting star candle. And what I mean by shooting star is that there's a big long wick, right, if we look at it. So the bulls have attempted to buy it higher, but it's meeting a lot of resistance. So now the bears have pushed it down. And now it's forming a doji. And either way, a shooting star, it has a little bit of a body, but a doji at the top, it'll signify a reversal. Not only that, if we look right here, right, it's losing strength, guys. It's losing a lot of strength right here. So see, we're seeing it downtick pretty hard right now. And once the RSI loses a lot of strength, it just can't get any higher. So we will assume a retracement between, anywhere even up to here. But I will assume 3655. What I would really advise to people is to watch the indicators, right? Watch the indicators, watch where we find a support there, where it's not really getting much lower. Watch to see the level 2 and when maybe some volume can pick up as well. And just see where we're leveling off, right? Make sure you're doing your Elliott wave counts. You do your simple ABC correction here and count all the possible waves, because it will reflect where the bottom possibly is. So my goal is to enter a position anywhere there. We're just going to take an average, all right? It might not retrace to even 0.5, but I will go into a long position here around 0.5, we'll say. I'm going to go all the way up to here, and my stop loss will be right around here. So yeah. Okay, so where were we at? Sorry about that. I had to pause the video over there. My dog was going crazy. She wanted to come upstairs. She runs around the house a lot, and sometimes I lock her downstairs by accident. All right, she's a tiny dog, and I've got like stairs and stuff, so I gotta go carry her and bring her up. Okay. So our risk to reward, I'm actually gonna pause it and type it out for you guys. Okay, so I have the risk to reward scenario typed out. This is going to be a really good play, guys. Keep in mind that these plays, I always take them myself as well, right? I always take them whenever I type them out, and I'm going to start sharing my spreadsheets as well. So I would recommend you guys follow me on Twitter and just follow it every so often. I'll also share it on my Google Drive on Twitter and on YouTube as well, and you guys can download it every few days, and you can keep track of all my statistics for the ones that I've been posting since November. I keep a lot of different statistics as well, but the ones from November is the one that I care about the most. And my win rate is actually 100%, believe it or not, based on the big trades, right? I'm not talking about the scalping day trade ones, but all the big calls that I've made, it has been just crazy profitable. Notice how hard we're down ticking already, guys. Notice, you guys see the volume? I gotta pause this. I gotta go check on my position. Okay, I almost had like a heart attack today because I've been getting into so many positions out there that I really need to take a step back on. Like on Ripple, I've been taking a loss because I've been shedding my risk because I'm uncomfortable, but overall I'm still up quite a bit. So what I do is, I shed my risk when I'm feeling kind of uncomfortable because of my position size. I want to maintain some sort of balance for my equity. So I usually invest a fairly large amount, and or not a large amount, but usually I would invest anywhere between 25 to 30,000. But lately it has been like 50 to 75 per coin, which is just absurd. And now I'm just getting really outside of my comfort zone because I'm not an investor or even a swing trader, right? I'm a day trader. So yeah, so as a day trader, I want to capitalize on the gains for the day. So this is where we're at right now, guys. I'm just gonna pull out the rest here. So I've been having just a super freaking stressed out week here. And I apologize about this whole like YouTube thing of being uncomfortable and for being somewhat petulant. But I've been getting a little bit tired of the same people asking the exact same questions over and over. And I had a really good talk with my friend, and she just basically told me to ignore them. So that's what I'm going to do from now on. I'm just going to ignore the comments and the feedback where people are asking me the same questions, like is this a good time to buy? What do I think of this, etc., etc., etc. So guys, here's a flip a coin scenario. Okay, pretend that you guys are playing heads or tails with a friend. Okay, heads or tails with a friend, and every time you win, you're playing heads or tails, 50-50% chance to win, right? Let's say you won $347 each time, and then each loss you lose $100. So 5 wins at $347, that's $1,735, right? And then 5 losses at $100 is $500. So if you take your profit, which is equal to $1,735 minus 500, well, your total profit is $1,235. So you would almost be silly if your friend asked you, hey, you want to play heads or tails? And you have a chance to win 3.5 times more than you can lose, because over time you would obviously be very, very, very profitable, right? So the risk to reward, it's actually not that high. I wrote that by accident. It's 3.47. So 3.47 right here. So your target for your entry price, make this a little smaller. Actually, I'll put it right there. Your target entry price is worst case scenario. There's a few rules to follow. Wave 4 cannot retrace to the territory of wave 1. And I always follow that rule when catching wave 3. When catching wave 4, right? That's a really important one. And I use that as my stop loss, slightly lower than it. So a good entry price is anywhere between, say, $33.35, right around here in this green box, to $36.53. Actually, I'm writing that wrong. 38.84, 36.84. And then your target is literally $44.52. Stop loss, make sure you guys stick to this stop loss. It's very important, okay? We don't know how far it's going to correct to, but it's super important for you guys to stick to this specific stop loss right here. Probability, 80%, believe it or not. That's just based on some calculations. 80%, I use a weighted formula based on just volume in general and different factors. I'm not going to get into it. It's too complicated for me to even talk about because it's some ridiculous spreadsheet that I use. Chance to gain 27.2%, chance to lose 8.5% or 7.85%. Time frame could be anywhere between 5 to 7 days. I never know. So I might even be less optimistic here. 3 to 7 days, or more optimistic, I mean. So that's a pretty good one right there. And then after that, guys, we're going to start a major correction. And let's say that everything panned out just the way we're thinking, where it made a measured move. So I'm going to show you guys exactly where it can go to. But we always take it one step at a time, right? So after it reaches that target, it can come all the way back down to one of these major areas, like $40 to even $32 again. After it finishes its 5 impulse waves, this is what always happens, guys. It's very, very normal. So this is my chart. You guys have the information. That is where we stand right now. I'm going to be waiting patiently to go into a long position. I'm quite up already for my short. My base price for my short, believe it or not, is like $39.50 about. Actually, it's higher than that. It's $40.50, sorry. So I will share this chart with you guys in a little bit. and I hope you enjoy it. I hope you guys ride it with me as well. So good buy zone. Make sure you guys stick to your buy zones there, and make sure you're watching these indicators, because you just never ever know how far it can retrace to. It might be much less, it might be much more. So use it as a general guideline only, but it does have a phenomenal risk to reward right now. So I highly recommend that people consider going into the trade. Okay, guys? So other than that, have yourselves a great night. If you guys enjoyed the video, smash that like, subscribe, share button. It's also on Steemit as well, and I would appreciate an upvote there, just to help out, and I like to help out the community. It gives me more Steam power as well, more influence in the community. And if you guys especially like it, you guys are welcome to send me a donation to Luna. She's my dog. She's got her own little cryptocurrency fund there, which I've been collecting for her just for emergency bills, etc. So have yourselves a great night, guys, and take care. Bye now.